Okay, now on to some of the less frequently asked questions. How do I stay warm when it's cold out? That's a question I get um, because it's now after Christmas time, and geez, for the last couple of months, I've had multiple nights in the 30s. But recently I've probably had 5 or 6 that were right around freezing, and maybe a couple, 3 or 4 maybe, that were under freezing, 32 or below. So yeah, they're cold, but it actually does stay a couple degrees warmer inside the box or the bike camper. So that helps a little bit, and obviously it blocks the wind. That's a huge thing too. I have a bunch of blankets in there. I have a couple down ones. I have a light sleeping bag. I have cozy sheets that those winter ones that you can get into, and they're nice and warm when you get in. And then I have a bivy sack with reflective material on it. I usually put that on me, and I usually stuff them all down at my feet, and then as it gets colder throughout the night, I pull them up. I'd have to wake up and just pull them up and get warmer. Sometimes in the morning. Actually, the other day was a really interesting day because I think it was like 65 about during the day, and then it went down to like 36 or something like that, or 38. Yeah, it just kept getting colder and colder and colder, but it was 65 when I went to sleep. So, I mean, you didn't want any blankets on at that point. But I just keep waking up and pulling up a new blanket, and then if it's under 32, or if it gets down into like 35 or say below, I usually put a couple sweat jackets down underneath of me. I do have a fleece sleeping bag that I'll use for the bottom, and that's over top of a mat and a Thermarest air pad. But the Thermarest is small, and it's only like 4 foot by 20 inches or something. So like when my feet hang over, they get cold. So I put a couple sweat jackets down just to give me a little bit of insulation on the bottom, and then I use all my blankets and the bivy sack on top of me, and that's been good down to 32. If it gets lower than that, I really need to probably get inside the fleece and put the fleece, the down, and everything inside of the bivy sack, and I'd probably be good down to about 25 maybe with that. And I'd be pretty comfortable that way. I could probably survive, way, less than that, but it'd just be miserable at that point. But and then I have a Mr. Heater, so I don't use that when I'm sleeping. But when I wake up in the morning, and before I didn't have it, I didn't want to get out of bed, because it was just cold out and whatever. But now that I have that, I get out, I can wake up, I get out of bed like I normally do, and I turn that on, and I can, start my day. I usually, brush my teeth and watch read some news and check the weather, and, plan my day or do some computer work, whatever I'm doing, whatever. Head to McDonald's or Starbucks or whatever. But yeah, that just even putting that on for like a couple minutes or whatever warms everything up. That's really nice. So that's basically how I keep warm, and I do that during the day too. And at nighttime, if I get in there and it's really cold during the day, I'll get in there and put the heat on for a couple minutes, and then turn it off, and then turn it back on again, and turn it off, and whatever until bedtime. Yes, that's how I keep warm. Okay, so another less frequently asked question I get is about hygiene. How do I shower? How do I keep clean? And all that stuff. And what I do is I usually in the morning and nighttime I wipe down as thoroughly as I possibly can with baby wipes. I also use paper towels and whatnot, and washcloths, and basically, as my sister does for her dog, she calls it a bucket bath. So that's it, bucket baths and baby wipes is what I use most of the time. But I do get lucky and get showers here and there. I did join warm showers. That hasn't worked out for me at all yet. And I was going to join Planet Fitness, or I think there's two of them, I forget, but so far everywhere I've been, they're not even around. So that hasn't worked out for me either. But I have been lucky enough to come across every now and then somebody offers me a shower, I'll take it. And then also, now that I'm at the beach, which is really nice, there's showers all along the beach. The only problem is it's cold now. So when it's like above 60 and it's sunny and not windy, I'll take it's cold, or let's call it refreshing. They're very refreshing showers when it's 60 degrees on the beach. But yeah, they're nice. And then I just had a hotel room the other day, so that was really kind of nice. You know. So that, yeah. So the shower here and there, and then also what I do is I have a little a peanuts jar that I keep my toothbrush and toothpaste and stuff in there. So you can brush your teeth before you go to bed and when you wake up every morning. And I have another peanut butter jar that I use as my gray water. I spit in that and then I dump it every when I get to a bathroom or somewhere or whatever. So that's shower hygiene. Oh, and hair. I like my hair short. I like to keep it clipped and shaved. I like to try not to look that homeless as I'm going. I like to be presentable when I talk to people. So I have battery clippers. I do have a pair of electric clippers, but I have to try them again. They did work once, but they didn't work the last time, or twice they haven't worked, and one time they did. With the battery charger. I don't know if the battery charger gives it enough, or maybe they just need to be cleaned or something like that. I'll have to look into that. But mostly I've been using the battery electric clippers. It takes a little bit longer, but I do it. I actually do it inside my little box. I have a poncho that I spread out on the floor and underneath me, and then I usually take off most of my clothes and I do my hair, and then once I'm done that, I wash down really good, and then I take out the poncho, and I try to wipe it all, get all the hair up first, but then I take that out and shake it all out and whatnot. So that's how I shave and do my hair. And I use my phone as a mirror, which doesn't work. It actually looks pretty even right now, but it doesn't it's hard. I've shaved this off a couple times accidentally when I keep making it smaller and smaller, trying to even it out on one side. Guys, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that's how I shave, keep clean, and brush my teeth, and most of the stuff I do in there as best I can, and use whatever else as it comes up. So the next less frequently asked question I get is, what do I do for bathrooms? And yeah, that can be a problem. That's one of the things I have to do every day. I have to look for bathrooms, look for a safe place to sleep, look for where I'm going, make my plans. So that can be kind of difficult. Especially when I'm staying at churches and fire departments. You can't wake up in the morning and jump out and pee on the side of their building or anything like that. So I have a giant whisk bottle that I use to pee in when I first wake up in the morning, and if there's any other emergencies or whenever at nighttime or whatever when I'm in the box. And then I dump that whenever I can, public bathrooms and things like that. So yeah, you have to do what you have to do. And then, so that takes care of number one. Number two is a whole nother thing. That's that's a tough thing. I have to try to plan when I'm going from town to town. I like to plan like where I'm going. So I do like coffee, so I do like to get coffee. So if I can go to a coffee shop, Subway is actually surprisingly nice. They actually have, there's a lot of places where they have like little counters you can work on, and they open up at 9, but from like 9 to 11, there's hardly anybody in there. It's nice and quiet, and they sell, they make their coffee in Keurigs. I think it's like $2 or something like that. So, nice cup of coffee for $2, and you get a bathroom. So, McDonald's, places like that. At the beach, there's some public bathrooms here and there, and some Johnny on the spots here and there. Um, Other than that, you just got to find the best place that you can. Walmarts and stores and stuff like that. You can go in, places like that, and uh, just in case for emergencies, I haven't had it happen yet where I've had to do this, but I bought a couple buckets, 2-gallon buckets in Home Depot a couple months ago. So, and I have one for emergencies for bathroom, and I have the other one for like doing wash and stuff. And I throw my laundry in there, and when I get water, and can rinse everything out and do it fairly efficiently in a bucket. And then I have the other bucket for emergencies, and I have trash bags and that I bought for that. Luckily, I haven't had to do that yet, but if it was pouring down rain and I'm in a church parking lot or whatever, I'd have to do it so I can, roll up all my bedding or whatever, put the bucket out and go in it, and it's not fun, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But like I said, I bought it for emergencies and haven't had to use that yet, so that's great. Okay, on for another less frequently asked question: laundry. What do I do for laundry? How do I keep my clothes clean? I think there's not always laundry mats around where you can do all your laundry, and geez, I'm in a spot right now where the next one is like 4 miles away, and I've been in this spot here for a little bit, but I do most of my laundry by hand. I have a bunch of high performance gear, like my shirts and my base layer and pants and things like that. So they actually rinse out pretty nice by hand. I use some soap. I use Castile soap, and then I use a little, sometimes dishwasher soap or whatever. Not dishwasher, dish soap, or ivory soap. I can clean stuff when I take showers. If you get something like that, you can get in there and just do all your stuff, soap up your stuff while you're wearing it, and then take it off and rinse it all out, and then do yourself. But I bought a bucket, a small, like I think it's 2.5 gallon or 2-gallon or 3-gallon bucket from Home Depot, and I just throw a couple pieces in there, and then I shake it up as much as I can, let it soak for a little bit, and then rinse it all out as best I can, then wring it out, and I have a little piece of cord that I put across the inside of my bike camper that I can dry stuff, so I can do only a couple pieces at a time, but socks and underwear and clean shirt and everything like that is pretty good. So that allows me to do my stuff and not smell. So there you go.